Hi there, welcome to one more lecture of software testing writing test cases. So in this video we will see how to write test cases, what exactly the structure required for the test cases. I have also a few other videos on how to write the test cases in Excel, so you can get those links in description of this YouTube video. Okay, so let's start from the beginning and see what exactly are test cases. Okay, so the term test cases describes a case that tests the validity of a particular condition, and then test cases are useful to establish the principles and thereby serves as a way for future similar cases. For example, you have one form on website where you have to enter some particular name and price and then hit button. So when you're testing such form, you will come across some of the conditions which needs to be fulfilled before that form will be processed. When you go through such conditions and put them for your test, that document collectively becomes test case documents. Okay, now the objective here is to try to find out as many test cases as possible so that you can effectively test your software. Now there are many conditions that you can put down, which involves some of the different type of steps depending on how to use that software and how to get expected result. Now in software testing, the definition for test case will be it is a set of conditions under which tester will determine if requirement upon application is partially or fully satisfied. So basically that is your test case. Okay, now once you understand what test case is, then the next you will go through the structure on how to write them, how to structure your test case document. Now, first thing in your test case document you will go through is the overview. Exactly what your test case is about, what product it is testing, what the draft contains, who wrote the draft, and identify other details. So document will have that generic overview at the beginning. And the next part is test case activity. Here you will have your information regarding environment, configuration, then initialization, then finalization, and the test steps and the input data. So this all comes in your test case activity. And then finally your document will have expected results. Okay, so if you are writing a test case document summary, then this is the structure that you have to follow. Now when you are actually writing your test case document in Excel or any other web-based or desktop software for writing test case, then the fields for that test case format will be different. So we'll take a look at that. So this was a simple format that I can show you from my list of available formats. So this format starts with the test case ID. So every test case scenario should have ID, so that whenever you find any bug or defect, you can simply come back and identify the test case ID and then try to map that defect with it. Then every test case also needs to have a name. For example, verifying form processed or verify form button is clicking or not. Okay, you have to write that into objective as well, what things you want in your objective, like what that button should do when you click on it. Okay, Then prerequisite, that you need to have that website loaded and form displayed should be that prerequisite, and you can also input data for that. Then author, that means who is carrying out the test. And finally the date of draft. So the date is important here because you need to find out at what date this test was taken and you are not repeating the previously completed test case. Okay, this is handy when you have a lot of defects to be fixed, so date should not be ignored. Now the below table that you can see here may differ from one organization to another, and I have plenty of different formats for this test case structure. So you have step 1, you have to explain how to open that document, and then form that should be in step number and step description. Then what result you want should be in expected result, and what result you have got after following the steps should be in actual result column, and then your test case result to be pass and fail as simple status. If you have it as fail, then you have to create one defect ID that can match with your test case ID. Okay, and then finally remarks for that test if there are any, and you can then link your defect document with this test case document as well. So there are plenty of documents you can check and create the format that you need to follow for your organization. In the description I will link you to a website where they have plenty of such formats that you can use for test document, then test scenario document, then bug defect document. Okay, so weekly summary and many other documents that you can go through. So for that you have to check the link in the description. Okay, so this was a small video on how you can write the test cases for your manual testing project.